gorgeous? Does that funk have you feeling stuck? Have you questioning your purpose, or even yet having you asking if your best years are behind you? Girl, you have zero obligation to stay in that funk. This podcast is for women who want to get the funk out of here, who want to play bigger, ask for more, and step out of mediocrity. Imagine a life filled with lots of energy, excitement, and filled with spunk instead of that funk. This is the After 40 Unfunk Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Crystal, and I'm ready to talk some shit. Let's go! Hi, Superwomen. I'm pumped up because over this last week, we've had so much sunshine, and I don't know what it is about the winter, but sometimes it can leave me feeling blah. But when the sun comes up, it's like it fuels me with a new gas, and I'm ready to go. Now, most of my time is spent in Vail, Colorado, and there is nothing like a bluebird day where the sun is out, the sky is blue, and the sun is just warming your bones while you ski. Oh, it feels so amazing and free, and you just lose track of time. Matter of fact, the slogan is, it's heaven on earth. Most tourists and people who visit, and even the people who live here, would call this place perfect, perfection. But we've all been told there's no such thing as perfect, right? Unless you're talking about our creator, but there's no such thing as perfect in human world. And yet, some of us let ourselves get in a funk trying to be perfect. And not just perfect at one thing, perfect at all things. Just last weekend, we went to a ski competition because my girls ski race. And my youngest was so mad because she didn't get first place medals in all the races. Like when I say she got mad, I mean she had a full out tantrum. It sounds ridiculous, right? But how many of us do that? Even if it's not on full public display, how many of us do that internally? Have a full-on tantrum because we're not winning first place in all areas of our life. And have you ever stopped to think about that being first place in all areas of your life is just a thought? What does that even mean? How will you know that you've reached first place in all the areas of your life? Is everybody around you going to put medals on your neck? How will you know when you've arrived? Have you set an expectation on yourself that you'll never be able to fulfill? I remember a client coming to me when I first started coaching, and they said, Crystal, I don't need to be perfect at everything. I just want to do everything well. I want to be an amazing wife like Holly, bake like Sally, clean like Mary, keep myself organized like Jane, run a successful business like Stephanie. But do you see what she's doing? She's taking the best parts out of everybody and trying to compare herself or have the expectation of herself to equal the different parts of everybody else that are good. No wonder tempers are short, right? Because we have that feeling that we never measure up. Like when you're scrolling through social, let's say Instagram, and you're subconsciously taking in everybody's highlight reel. Of course, it's easy to start to compare yourself and feel like you don't measure up. But I challenge you to go through your social. I would imagine that for the majority of you, that too is your highlight reel. Yet we're all broken. We all have weaknesses. But not many of us are willing to put them on full display. But comparing someone's outward living life to your inside or your life on the inside will almost always be sure to funk you up. But comparison is normal. It's a normal human function. But can we use it perhaps for motivation? Instead of letting it funk you up, what if you used it to inspire you toward change? You know that saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it? I want to go against that saying. And when you do use it to get inspired toward change, focus on your strengths first, not your weaknesses. Now, we all have strengths, but have we improved on them? Have we developed them, made them stronger? Or have we let them go stale because it wasn't broken, so we didn't fix it? We didn't invest in ourselves. We didn't help ourselves grow and strengthen our strengths. Yet we do this with our things around us all the time, like our property. Just recently, a friend of mine put a shed on their lawn. Their lawn wasn't broken, but to enhance their property and to increase storage, they put a shed on their lawn. It just added more strength to their property, if you will. So we invest in our property and our things around us, but we don't invest in our own strengths to make us stronger, to enhance us. Sometimes we get in that comparison game and we sit there and stew on all the ways we fall short, all the ways we don't measure up, instead of taking our strengths, our highlight reel, and developing that, making it stronger, or using that strength to try something different. And sometimes I notice clients will start with their weaknesses, work harder to enhance or improve their weaknesses. And what a waste of time. They can get so much further by strengthening their strengths. I have a friend in one of my groups. She sucks at business. She really sucks, but she is an amazing creator. She spent so much time trying to learn business. It left her all funked up because it's not where her strengths is. It's not even where her wants or desires are. In all that time she spent trying to learn business, she would tell you today she wished she would have just hired somebody to help her because she would have brought in more money and gotten her creativity out into the world more had she focused on her strengths. I truly believe you're doing a disservice to the world and everybody around you when you're trying to improve your weaknesses. You were given your strengths to share, to serve. Use them. What if you mix your strength with the wisdom you have and create something new? Oh, the possibility. We've been so conditioned to focus on our weaknesses, right? Like even when we're young in school, we have to try to get our grades up because maybe we have a D in math. Or if you're where I live, they're on a number system now, and maybe you have a 1 in math. But we're so conditioned to fix that, to bring that grade up, to bring that number up. Or even if you're in business and you have a supervisor or a manager and they give you reviews, most of the time you don't get that raise because you need to work on something, improve that weakness. It's like we've been conditioned to think we're lacking something, that we need to improve it. But what if we just drop that belief, drop that thought, drop that story? Our strengths are where it's at. Do not dismiss your accomplishments, those things that you've accomplished through your strengths. They are so important. So, of course, today's takeaway action from this podcast is to go list out your strengths. And if you're feeling all funked up, take those strengths, explore them. Can you create something new with those strengths? Or even if it's just do something new, do something different to jazz up your life, to give you that little spunk or pep in your step. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be something so huge and transformational. Remember, sometimes it's the small things we do that start to add up to big things. Like I do like to snow ski, and I do put a little asterisk beside that because I love to snow ski when the sun is out and the sky is blue and the snow is just perfect and just right. So there is a caveat to when I like to ski, but I do love it when I get out there and it's a perfect day. But sometimes we find ourselves bored with doing that thing we still love to do. But what if you just take your experience, your wisdom, your strengths, and your love and just mix it up a little? Like I bought some skins for my skis, and instead of skiing downhill, I started skinning uphill. And what a rush. How cool. It just changed my energy, changed my flow. And sometimes doing those small little things or changing something in a small way can open you up to new perspectives. And then you can take your strengths and try something else different and try something else new. And it might open another door or lead you into a different direction. But we have to go. We have to take small little steps, improve our strengths to go in a direction that works for us. And it's individual. I find a lot of times women are looking to other women to see what they're doing so that they can maybe follow them. And while I love leaders, your journey is individual. It's going to take you on your own path and require your own exploration. And it will require you to use your own unique strengths. And I've had many women come to me as well and say that they don't know what their strengths are. Now, I believe you're being humble, but the best advice is to go to a friend, not your mom, but a friend who's real with you. Ask them what your strengths are. Or ask your peers or the colleagues you work with. Then you can get a mixed bag of what your strengths are. And as I said before, once you have them, can you mix them with your wisdom and create something new? Can you do something new, do something different? Or like we say in the ski world, can you take a new line? Or do you need to strengthen them? Do you need to invest in them to build them up? Let's hone our strengths or honor them. And now I'm going to use a little more ski language here, but when you do decide to send it, go all out on your strengths. Stop trying to get to first place spot for all the other areas of your life. Stop comparing to others. You have to decide what that first place medal looks like, and how will you know when you're winning? Seriously, long are the days where somebody's putting a first place medal around our neck for our accomplishments. You're not going to win every race, but when you do, celebrate it. Don't wait for acknowledgement from others or for that raise or for that first place medal around your neck. You have the ability now to put that first place medal around your neck. Let's step out of that belief that we need to be good at everything, that we have to have all A's on our report cards, that we have to win all the races. Let's step out of that belief. We don't tell our kids they have to be perfect at everything. Let's not tell ourselves that. Let's be the role model for them. Let's take our strengths. Let's be first place in our strengths and invest in them. Use them, maybe to go a different direction, maybe to stay where we are and just elevate ourselves, elevate our minds, gain new perspectives, grab new energy. And remember, your strengths are unique to you. And even if you feel like your strengths aren't broken, I encourage you to still invest in them, to develop them, to enhance them. So let's grab a hold of those strengths. Let's send it and let's go. Before you go, Superwoman, I'd love it if you took a little action for me. Like, subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. Also, share the episode with a friend. And as a thank you, hit up my website to crystalsumner.com, thecrystalsumner.com, to grab free journal prompts. Okay, ladies, now is the time to go on Funk Your Mind, play bigger, and ask for more. Open the door to possibility and cancel playing small. So get up and go.